Hi, this is Angie and it's Chocolate Sunday part 11. I've had 444 views on this series of supposedly weekly video diaries. Actually, it turns out to be more like monthly. But I appreciate that. It's not viral, but I still appreciate that. Um, I guess technically this is an ongoing inheritance blog. And I guess I just first want to, I don't know, offload a little bit about health. I've been diagnosed with high cholesterol and high blood pressure, which I've never had in my life. And, I've got a shoulder injury from horse riding and soccer playing, which is looking like it's going to need surgery. And, I've had a kind of downward slide for a couple of years with weight gain and smoking increase and drinking again after a couple of years sober. So it's just a tough time, but I feel like pressing through. I actually went to Cumbera in Galway, and I was tempted to just hide for 12 weeks and go on this whole I come first thing. And I just felt like the times were too urgent to actually take that time out. I'm a single parent, I've got kids. I took on the Kenya project. I promised myself I would finish my book, which I have. It's not edited yet or ready for publishing, but it's finished. And it's taken me 4 years, and I'm delighted about that. But anyway, just there's obstacles, and that's okay. I just wanted to I don't know if complete's the right word, because will it ever be complete? But I just wanted to continue to address this thing about inheritances. And I've detailed in, previous video diaries about just our family inheritance story, McCarthyville, uh, my 4 acres of land, Rainbow Farm, Scholar's Rest, all these, and they're just a snapshot of every family. I guess the thing I'm talking about is discrimination. So many people emigrate because one person got the home place and the other person had nowhere else to go but maybe go to America or Canada or Australia or England and start a new life with a vague sense of pain. And I just have a snapshot that was so didn't feel nice at all. I have my parents are living in what we all thought was their home, which was purchased for them by my baby sister Emery so she could take over the farm. As we understood it, she bought my sister's house to put my parents in so she and her family could take over the farm. My sister then said, no, no, that wasn't the deal. Actually, they've only got lifetime occupancy for that 70 grand I was paid for, which was close to market value at the time. I think her mortgage was 26 grand. My parents gave her the site, my mother gave her the bridging loan, and my parents helped get the house built. And then Sharon, for whatever reason, because of divorce and difficulty with sharing the farm with Emery, for whatever reason, Sharon went back to England and was going to sell her house. And anyway, that's all done. But so technically, it looks like it's still Sharon's house because she never transferred the deeds. And she said the 70,000 that she got back in, I don't know, 14 years ago, whatever year that was. Although we all thought it was a purchase price, she said no, it wasn't. It was, I don't know what she considered it, payoff for Amory getting the farm or advance rental for 15 years. I don't know what she considers it, but she says no, that wasn't a purchase price. So my boys, who are 15 and 18, they help my parents, but I authorised them to charge. charge for it. In an ideal world, you would never ask your grandparents to pay you for cutting the grass or painting the outbuildings or, you know, doing whatever 15 and 18-year-old boys are able to do. But given what's happened and that their cousins seem to be an alien species compared to my boys, I just say to my boys, look, you know, you don't charge an arm and a leg, but you may charge to go and do chores. And so Jamie was there painting the garage, and Joshua was there cutting the acre of grass, whilst cousin Gemma, who lives in the farm now, was going in and out of the land which belongs to my parents, bringing horses, you know, in and out. And cousin Nicky, who was the golden boy, the firstborn grandson, was riding down the Black Road on a stunning animal, you know, doing whatever he does. And I happened to drive out whilst my boys were working like ants or like indentured slaves, it seemed like to me. The privileged cousins were lording it on the land which actually, you know, the land around the house is not theirs. I think Nicky rents it from my dad, so I suppose he has some claim. But as I drove out to go and get some supplies for the painting project or whatever it was, I had to actually pull over almost into the ditch out of courtesy to allow Nicky to ride by safely on what could have been a young horse. And not only did he not acknowledge me, he looked the other way, just snubbed me, silly little boy. You know, he was my page boy at my wedding, but silly little boy. He's so trying to act like, you know, he came rightfully upon this 65 acre, or it's down to about 40 acre small holding, and that, you know, he has no sense of family, no sense of conscience, no sense of duty. But anyway, it turned out Dad, in a fit of nostalgia, I just want to make sure I don't go over 10 minutes because otherwise it doesn't upload. Dad, in a fit of nostalgia, told Nicky that the field would be his, or was his. And with no sense of family or equality or whatever siblingship, his mother, my sister Anne-Marie, promptly went to my mother quickly and said, oh, Daddy said Nicky can have the field. I've made a solicitor's appointment with Paddy Cusick. It's blah blah, you know, X night. Is that okay with you, Mum? And then Mum, flattered by being included, said, yes, let's do that. And for some bizarre reason, my dad refused to go to the solicitor's appointment, or if he went, he wouldn't sign the document. He just got a last-minute crisis of conscience and said, no, it doesn't feel right. And so Nicky didn't get the field signed over to him. And I wrote a letter to my parents saying, you know, of a 65 acre small holding, having given away McCarthyville, having, you know, repossessed my 4 acres, having done whatever you've done, made whatever mistakes you've made, you know, having acceded to Sharon what looks like conning you over Scholar's Rest, giving you lifetime occupancy when you thought it was bought for you, you've now got 3.5 acres left, and you've got 3 daughters left. And it's just not moral to give that to the first grandson that you allocated 16 acres to on his christening. So anyway, Dad refused. I just checked my time again. Oh, we've got very soon. And but he didn't refuse on the grounds of his 3 remaining daughters. He just suddenly got a conscience about my 2 boys. Now, he's got 8 grandchildren, but he only acknowledges the boys. And so he said, no, I can't give it to Nicky because I've got Josh and Jamie. And sweet as that is, it still leaves that there's there's daughters.